and gentlemen, he is indeed a legend of laughter, the jovial jester, Mr. Don Reid.
Have you got one of these brush things in your lavatory? The sooner we get back to paper, the better. Hasn't the world changed? How it has, you know. You look at nowadays and kids roaming around, roaming all over the streets, and dogs going to obedience schools. Everything's the other way around. We've just been burgled. My wife was laying there terrified. She said, "You're not rapists, are you?" He said, "Well, we are normally, but you don't mind tonight if we just have a few." They stole a credit card, but I've not reported it because they're spending less than she does. I'd be hopeless at crime. I know the most guaranteed way to make money from crime in this day and age is to break into somebody's house, injure yourself, and sue them. Yes, things are the other way around. 2,000 years ago, if you committed adultery, you got stoned. Now they do it the other way around. And where I live in Cheshire, I was shopping. I was in the £50 shop the other day. I live in a little village called Winesford in Cheshire, and they don't know, they think it's posh. And the vicarage has been broken into. Nothing's, a vicarage is broken into. And he's going round early hours, and a voice said, "Jesus is watching you." He shone his torch in the corner, there was a parrot in a cage. He said, "I'm not afraid of a parrot called Jesus." The parrot said, "I'm John the Baptist." Jesus is the rock father behind you. My wife, Babe. Call her Babe, you've seen the film. The baseball player, Babe Ruth, that's what it is. We have these nicknames. She calls me Shrek 1, 2 and 3. We have affection. I call her my little princess, and she calls me Methane King. Isn't it funny when you were courting? That's an expression you don't hear nowadays, courting, isn't it? Young people wouldn't know what you meant by expressions like make the grate up. Oh, I don't know what you mean by that. Walk to school. And it started with my wife's eldest sister, Pearl. The father said, "Every time we have a girl, I'm going to name her after a precious stone." And there was Ruby, and the exotic one, Jade. And my wife, Pumice. I don't want to come off. My wife, we were having a meal the other night, and I like Italian food, which is unusual because we're a Chinese restaurant. We're having this meal. And the couple on the next table, a few glasses of wine, a bit merry. All of a sudden, his wife just slid under the table, but he carried on eating. I said, "Excuse me, your wife just slid under the table." He said, "My wife's just come through the door, please shut it." And we had our honeymoon, but you better sit quiet. The Waterloo Hotel. Yes, we went back for our silver wedding, but how it's changed now. Oh, when we got married, confetti fell out of your pockets. We were embarrassed. We didn't like to be known as newlyweds, did we? No. But nowadays, oh, you go to this romance, there's inflatable love hearts, and Cupid, and Mantovani playing, and the Arthritis song. Don't feel it in your fingers. You go down for breakfast and there's romance everywhere, you know, young couples, you know, being romantic, passing the sugar, and would you like some honey? My wife said, "Do you want some bacon, you pig?" And we arrived on our honeymoon at 2 o'clock in the morning. and had to be out of the room by 8:30. So our honeymoon didn't start in the traditional way, if you know what I mean. But when you walk over the bridge towards Swallow Falls, if you know what I mean, yes. Well, there's a big fence there, but there was nobody about, and that was actually where our honeymoon started, against the fence. And when we went back for our silver wedding, I said, there's no, shall we repeat? And we did. I said, you didn't wriggle and jiggle like that 25 years ago. She said the fence wasn't electrified then. We go up because we do have these, as I say, little nicknames for each other. Funny how you call it. Remember you call it the little nicknames, little animal name, like little fluffy bunny and my turtle dog, yeah. After you've married for a few years, you still use animal names, you just get bigger, the animal. You miserable cow, you fat And we go up to Blackpool for the hallucinations. I enjoy it, but my eldest brother Ken comes along. I've not hated him all my life, but when I die, I will have done. He's the most miserable, sexist man I've ever heard in my life. It's horrible. I wouldn't speak to him again, but you never know when you need a kidney, do you? Oh my. If it hadn't have been for me, he wouldn't have got family allowance. And we go to Blackpool, and I love it because my brother-in-law's Irish, Jerry's known him for many, many years. And he's a great character, but he always says things to wind you up, makes you think about it. He came down for breakfast, he said, oh, this pain in my chest is doing me head in. And he says things like this. We went into a shop, he said, last time I came shopping here, my change was wrong. I've not got the receipt, I don't know if it was last year or the year before. The fella said, there's nothing I can do about that. He said, okay, keep the £20 then. He does it, and my brother Ken, if he goes out for a drink on his own, he has a kitty. He told me a joke that got me into trouble, and it's a racist joke. Can I, when they say it's racist, how can it be racist when there's only one race on the planet? Isn't there? There's a lot of what they call ethnic groups, isn't there? You know, of course there is Yorkshire, Scarborough. Anybody from Scarborough? They have a nickname for Scarborough people on the cruise ships. They call them comforts. Because when they get on the cruise ship, they say, we've comfort cruise. And we go up to Blackpool, and there's this ride called the Pepsi Max, the big one. Has anybody been on that? Did you enjoy it? Did you? My wife said, take the grandson on, you're insured. Now, I did not know that my anal glands had claws until it went down that slope. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's fun being strangled by your backside at 95 miles an hour. And we go out for a drink at night, one of these fun pubs, which is for young people, not all the music. Who let the dogs out? It wasn't me. What a racket. And my brother-in-law, Jerry, said, I've slipped the door with a tenant, he's going to let us in for nothing. By the way, in the second half, before I finish, because the time's going so quick, my grandchildren have bought me a new stage outfit. I'm going to wear it for the first time this afternoon. Isn't it nice? I'm not unwrapped it yet, so I'm going to look forward to unwrapping, you know, the grandchildren. They make your life, but children. And the reason grandchildren get on with grandparents is common enemy. The one in between, yes? I bought all my grandchildren loads of presents like sets of drums. I'll get my own back on them. And we go to Blackpool and we go to this fun pub, and it was the noise, and we crept past the chucker in, and we got in. And we'd had a few drinks, and we're staggering back to the hotel, and there's a couple coming towards us. That's when this copper says, what's your name? Take a name from a shop window. My brother Ken said, I've heard that. I said, no, we will, he's a copper. You're thick. Not all of them, no. Not the ones who come to the City Varieties. He came up and said, hello. I thought, well, there's half a chance he's talking to all of us. He said, what's your name? I looked up and said, W.H. Smith. He said, I've heard this, but I can't remember the end of it. He turned to Jerry, he did it again. He said, what's your name? He said, Dorothy Perkins. I know this. And he turned to me, but I said, bet your name's the Halifax Builders Society, isn't it? He said, no, it's Ken. He said, Ken who? He said, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over.